Well, first of all, this is Senator Clinton's big day, and I congratulate her on her entrance into the race. Voters should have choices in races, and so it's going to be a great debate, I hope, in the Democratic primaries. As far as my evolution, certainly the Republican Party changed, and I never changed. And as I became an independent and won governorship as an independent, my values never changed, whether it's on fiscal responsibility or on the environmental issues or on using the tools of government to help the less fortunate, keeping us out of quagmires we see overseas. I've never changed, protecting civil liberties. And now I'm a Democrat and very comfortable as a Democrat and look forward to the primaries and the debate ahead.
And Governor, you said explicitly that you're considering challenging Hillary Clinton primarily because of her vote for the Iraq War. You famously were the only then Republican to vote against the Iraq War back in 2002. But do you really think there's still enough anger left? It was a long time ago to propel your candidacy based on that?
Well, I enjoyed working with Senator Clinton. We overlapped for 6 years, and we served on the Environment and Public Works Committee together, and we worked on some breast cancer issues. We worked on endangered species together. I enjoyed that. But that vote for the Iraq War, that was a moment in time, Dana, where the Vietnam era had ended, the Berlin Wall had come down. There was an age of lasting peace ahead of us if we made good decisions, particularly after September 11th, when people were angry and they were scared. And that was just a moment in time where the premise for going into Iraq was so false that there were weapons of mass destruction. She didn't do her homework, and we live with the ramifications today. And so you might say, oh, that's 12 years ago, but we live with it today. And it's a big motivator for why I'm running. If you show lack of judgment, lack of doing your homework then, what can we expect in the future?
You have called Hillary Clinton a Democratic Bush enabler, and you said that when you endorsed her opponent in 2008, Barack Obama. What about now? Do you think that her foreign policy chops are appropriate, or maybe her ideals and her goals are appropriate looking at the world now?
As I said, we're going to have a lot of areas of agreement domestically, but I have some big areas of disagreement internationally. And yes, I would say even her tenure as Secretary of State was kind of a muscular, top-down, unilateral, too close to the neocons, too Bush-light. And you could say, after her tenure as Secretary of State, what kind of accomplishments did you have? And there were precious few.
Let's talk about domestic issues. As you well know, there is a lot of enthusiasm out there for Elizabeth Warren because of her populist approach to economic issues. Do you consider yourself somebody who wants to fill that void since she's saying that she's not running?
Yes, absolutely. There's no doubt that Senator Warren's absolutely right about what's happening to the middle class. And she's just been a prophet about this for a number of years. And that's what makes any community, whether it's a state or a city or a country or anywhere around the world, strong, is having a robust middle class. And so she's right, and I have a great record of voting against the Bush tax cuts, which widened that disparity of wealth, that hurt the middle class, led to the Great Recession. So I'm proud of my record and would like to have Senator Warren's support and her legion of followers.
I'm sure you would. You know, when you left the governor's mansion, in your own state of Rhode Island, you left only one term, after only one term, rather, and you had an approval of only 25%. So if you, you know, kind of have that low standing in your own state, how are you going to get support around the country?
Well, I came in a tough time. Rhode Islanders had some of the highest foreclosures, highest unemployment. Our cities and towns were going bankrupt. People were stressed out. They were angry. Every little thing was difficult as I tried to turn Rhode Island around. And, of course, anytime you're raising taxes, you're making people angry. I had to do that. Raise beach fees made people angry. But at the end, and that's why I'm running, Rhode Island is better off. We had the biggest drop of unemployment, the rate of unemployment, than all but 4 states. That's a great record of accomplishment. And I'm proud of helping our cities and towns get out of bankruptcy. Even our capital city of Providence was eligible. That's not true today.
You, a little known fact, you went to boarding school, high school, with Jeb Bush back in the day. Were you friends? And what do you know about him personally? Do you think he could make a good president?
Yes, we were friends. We lived in the same dorm together. And we've bumped into each other several times since. And so we'll see what happens coming down the road.
You think he would make a good president? He's not his brother, obviously. He's got different views on things.
So now we have three Bushes to compare, the father, the George W., and now Jeb. So we'll see how it goes down in the campaign.
Okay, lastly, you sounded like you were pretty far in this morning in our discussion. Are you definitely going to run?
Well, the process is to form the exploratory committee. But yes, I want to be there in November, December, and January on the stage debating these issues.